Hi everybody, Tim here with tonight's episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 5, Episode 25, The Inner Light. So this episode is often considered the best episode. Fans have voted, all of that. Now that being said, I really like this episode. This is a great episode. It's not necessarily the best in my opinion, but it is a really good story. And actually, to be completely honest with you, like watching it 25 plus years later, to me, it's not the greatest, but it is a really good one. This is the one that people say, if you've never seen an episode of Star Trek, this is a good one, which I kind of have to disagree, because I think the connection we have to Picard after 5 years, it's what makes this episode so touching. But I really like it. What makes this episode so good is Patrick Stewart's performance. I mean, we know Patrick Stewart's a great actor. He's a classically trained actor, and he's great in everything he does, even Dune. But this episode is what really, it's the epitome of how great he is, where he's taken from the Enterprise and put into a situation, and we watch him develop in this culture after 5 years, after 15 years, after 30 years, and he has a wife, and he starts having kids, which, interesting trivia fact, his son, I don't remember his name, but his son in the other place is played by his actual son, Daniel Stewart, so I thought that was kind of cool. And it's just interesting to watch him develop and kind of watch this society grow. This episode could honestly have been a two-parter or even a season finale and still have totally carried its own. Because, I mean, this is probably the most famous episode of The Next Generation. I met the writer of this one year when I went to Emerald City Comic Con. It's up in Seattle, for those that don't know. And the writer for this one was selling copies of the script and talking to people. It was really interesting to kind of talk to him about it. And it is a really good episode. I feel like for me, kind of the only downside of this episode is Patrick Stewart's makeup, which, let's be completely honest, The Next Generation has never been good with aging makeup. Most movies aren't, but going back to the season premiere, Encounters at Farpoint, where we see DeForest Kelly in the aged makeup, even going to the series finale, where again, we'll see Picard in aged makeup, it's not very good, and it's not even close, because we see Patrick Stewart now, 30 years later, and he still looks phenomenal. I don't know what's in that Earl Grey tea, but he's perfectly preserved. So for those who have seen, I'm not going to go on too much about this episode, because like I said, the writing's great, the story's great, the acting's great. It is a great episode. So I'm not going to go too much on about it. I'd rather see what you guys have to say and then kind of respond to your comments. So for those who have seen it, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, even those that don't watch Star Trek have probably seen it, go ahead, let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? Do you guys consider this the greatest Next Generation episode? If not, what do you consider to be the greatest? If so, why do you consider it to be the greatest? Thank you guys for everything, for the YouTube subscriptions, for the Twitter followers, for those that message me, friend request me, everything. Thank you guys for everything. I will see you guys next time for the season finale two-parter, Time's Arrow.